So the mirror principle is that everybody you meet is a reflection of your own inner state. Every time you witness something in the world, you have the choice to recognize how you feel about it. So if you're witnessing things all the time that are in discord with how you feel, like they're not in alignment, they feel like there's conflict, if that's something you experience a lot, what does that say about your own internal state? If you experience chaotic people, that means you have chaos in your heart. And there's nothing wrong with that. The whole point is that it's showing you where you need to shift, if that is something you do not desire. Because at the end of the day, there's no judgment. There is no good or bad. That's just a film we put on everything. That's just a filter. So if you want true happiness, it's removing that filter, saying this isn't good or bad, this just is. This feeling that my body is having when it experiences somebody that feels super, super chaotic, and then I realize, oh, that's just a reflection of me in a way. You can take that to be a good thing or a bad thing, or you could just say it is what it is. And the interesting thing is when you start to really just acknowledge that feeling, acknowledge what's going on in your heart, acknowledge everything, how everything makes you feel, but don't really put judgment on it, right? Just say that is what it is. It is. It stops having power over you. It stops being a dominant experience in your life, and it's easier to allow through your experience so that it connects it. And that's the real way to transmute energy. That's the real way to do it. So right now I'm looking out my window here, okay? It's beautiful outside. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, there's these lovely trees out there. I want to go outside. But it's -2 degrees Fahrenheit. It is painfully cold. I think there's a danger of getting frostbite if you're out there for more than like 5 minutes or something. I don't even know. I didn't look because I'm not trying to be outside at all today. Not really. But looking, it's like, oh, I want that. I desire that. It looks good out there. But then there's this dichotomy of it's not good out there. It's very cold. It's dangerously cold. You should not be out there. So even just removing that filter of it's so beautiful outside that it's creating a desire within me to experience it more, removing that desire and removing that filter of beauty, it is what it is. And then my brain starts thinking, oh, you could just go outside and experience it, because your mind creates your reality. So if you remove the filter of beauty, it kind of removes the desire, because it's like, oh, I can recognize what I'm seeing and I can appreciate it right now, right here. I don't need to have more of it. I don't need to experience more of it. And then the universe aligns so that you can experience more of that beauty, because you're removing any judgment, good or bad. When you realize things as they are rather than as how you choose to judge them, it opens up more for you to experience. Does that make sense? Like, I can experience the beauty more deeply because I'm allowing myself to not think of it as beauty. Well, that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm really focusing lately on putting God first. I got this message last week. I wrote it down and I haven't known necessarily how to expand upon it. I just want to like kind of sit with it for a minute now that I've talked about removing the filter of judgment in life. It said, the message I got said, your influence in this world will increase exponentially when you make God the priority. So whatever that means for you, whatever kind of influence you want, it doesn't have to be an ego desire. It doesn't have to be selfish if you put God first. And this is again where it's sort of like removing the judgment. Like, I have always felt like, oh, I want to help people. I want to be that kind of person in society. I want to improve people's lives. And when you come from that kind of perspective, that you want to help people, it requires you to be surrounded by people who need help. So that's just how it works. When I stopped desiring to help others, when I stopped desiring to be impactful in a useful way, I stopped being surrounded by people who needed me, who needed help, who were constantly asking and constantly like being needy. And now I'm just trying to exist in my community and connect to people in a human way. And in that way, I'm actually being more helpful. I'm actually finding connection and finding true usefulness because I removed the filter of judgment that was rooted in an ego-driven desire to be useful to people. That's what it was. I want to feel valued, and to be valued means you're helpful. But by making God the priority, by saying, God, what can I do today to live your message, to inspire others to feel connected to their own God, right? So the other note I had, let me see, it says, so the mirror principle, right? Like is something I've talked about before, and it's something I really, really have been, it's been like so helpful in my life, right? Again, it's the filter of everything you witness is a reflection of your own internal state. But the download I got says, when you see negativity in the world, it is not a reflection of your own inner darkness. Rather, it is a manifestation of other people's disconnect from God. So there is nothing you can do to help other people feel connected to God. Because at the end of the day, I realized, I want to help people, I want to help people, I want to help people. But they're not willing. Those people that I was surrounded with that needed help all the time, they were not willing to try to connect to God on their own. They didn't really understand that that's all they needed, was to connect to God, to connect to Jesus and their own spirit, to connect to their angels. Like, that's all you have to do in this world. But you can't just tell somebody that. Like me telling you this, if you're watching this, whoever you are, it's because you resonate. It's because you understand this, and you're going to be able to take this as meaningful, as useful. So it's a personal choice, right? Like I said. And the thing is like, you can't make that choice for anybody else. All you can do is do it for yourself. And in doing that, in removing the almost like forcefulness of it, and removing saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. And again, maybe it's like weird, and it's a weird oxymoron that I'm even talking about this on the internet to whoever's listening. And I'm saying, you have to connect to God. You have to That's not going to help anybody. That's not actually going to help anybody, telling people to connect to God. All you can do is just do it. Do it for yourself. Be a living example. Exist in a way that feels aligned. And the way to feel aligned is to say, God, what can I do today to be in your presence? Lead me. And this is where surrendering to the divine comes in. Surrendering to, my ego doesn't have power. I don't want my ego to have power. It doesn't have any power over me, affirming that. And then saying, Jesus, lead me. Jesus, what can I do to inspire people to connect to you today? And it's, and then it's just go about your day and exist. And maybe you'll have a conversation that has nothing to do with spirituality, but it inspires somebody to do something or experience something or feel something. And it's like, but you can't worry about it. You just have to trust. You can't go out saying, I'm going to inspire people. No. You have to just go and be and exist and trust in God's plan and trust in like the fact that you have made that choice. Because it's a choice. You can choose God or you can choose your ego. That's really the only two choices there are. And when you choose God first, before your ego has a chance to step in and say anything, it makes it easier when the ego does creep in, and you can realize, oh, this is an ego like perspective that I'm thinking right now, right? It makes it easier when you just keep remembering, God, show me, give me courage, give me strength to overcome my ego, give me perspective, and allow me to be in the right place. And it's surrendering your being, your earthly being, to the divine. It's saying, I am here as a vessel. I am here to be a light and a beacon. And to do that, I have to remove my own judgment. I have to remove everything that I think and believe is true, and be open. Be open to anything. I know this is good because I don't remember anything I just said. Okay, I'll see you guys. Much love.